Say my name groovy 한 걸음걸이 거울 앞에서 봐 누가 제일 핫해 Look at me now so savage 빛이 나 언제나 뒤끝부터 올라 All day 깊이 빠져들지 내 같으면 분위기가 up 너도 나를 원해 감추지 마 절대 한 입에 오문 캔디처럼 중독돼 Let's make it loud 오늘 밤에 미치더라가 Rhythm 위에 춤춰 걷지 말고 follow Let me hear you say 이건 warning sign 거침없이 더 올라가 내 머릿속에 deep inside no Hey say my name 입을 잠겨 just like bubblegum 더 크게 불러봐 Say my name Bass drop 더 높이 let it shake 너도 모르게 빠져가 Say my name Now turning back too late now 너도 몰래 빠져들어 hush 이제 멈추지 마 we don't stop No fear no shame Say my name 잊지 못해 내 face 세상에 날 원해 crown on my head 날 보면 모두 다 wow 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 Flash camera 다 click click pop 내 vibe 마치 gold 춤추듯 걸어 심 빠르는 stepping Tick and talk 시간이 흘러가 더 늦기 전에 날 따라 이리 on Let's make it loud 오늘 밤에 미치더라가 Rhythm 위에 춤춰 걷지 말고 follow Let me hear you say 이건 warning sign 거침없이 더 올라가 내 머릿속에 deep inside no Hey say my name 입을 잠겨 just like bubblegum 더 크게 불러봐 Say my name Bass drop 더 높이 let it shake 너도 모르게 빠져가 Say my name Now turning back too late now 너도 몰래 빠져들어 hush 이제 멈추지 마 we don't stop No fear no shame Say my name Now watch me burn it up 한번 보면은 forget me Say my name 더 크게 외쳐봐 너와 다른 level now Say my name 날 보면 다 Say my name Oh my god 너도 따라 불러봐 Just like that Say my name 입을 잠겨 just like bubblegum 더 크게 불러봐 Say my name Bass drop 더 높이 let it shake 너도 모르게 빠져가 Say my name Now turning back too late now 너도 몰래 빠져들어 hush 이제 멈추지 마 we don't stop No fear
Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show. Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show. Built to thrive, ain't just here for the ride. Don't know how I caught this stride, but since then it been live, I'm up early, cause I ain't missing the shot when I'm worthy. I've been chasing rings, they only want in the jersey, yeah. Slimmer than after the Benjamin versus unlimited. Blood in this ink, I've been hemorrhaging, take me to imaging. No, they can't match with their energy, that's why I'm finna be taking the game to new levels, just peep how I'm sending it. I put the music up first and competition come last. Repetitions beat them beyond recognition. We are eons ahead, wait till the price catch up. I always knew I'd win, it's how my life set up. Slim don't fold, probably bumping some old in the whip. Game sold from the people much older out here. Keep patience and your calling will reach you, but you probably prolong it if nobody can't teach you. But back to this greatness unfolding. I don't see nobody outpacing, I'm focused. Mental in shape and I ain't shaking this motion. This could make a movie on screen when I step out there and scene with me go. Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show. Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all
And welcome back to more roller derby. We have the first jam of the East Vic Witches taking on the South Sea Krakens. Currently after jam 1 we are sitting at 1 point apiece. My name is Kilbo Baggins. I will be your lovely commentator today. And just before we get started, I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the Wurundjeri people land of the Kulin Nation as we get underway for jam number 2. So we have Evie jamming for the Witches up against, that is 1-1 She-Wolf for Krakens. And She-Wolf out with lead to a big cheer from their bench. And it is now a power jam for She-Wolf and the Krakens, with Evie being sent to the bin. And slipping up the inside there with 4 points. And some wonderful offensive help there from her teammates as She-Wolf battles with a very strong Witches defensive pack. Run back by Natto Ninetails as Evie exits the box. And that is the jam called there. 3 more points for the Krakens, taking them to 8 points overall, which is kept scoreless still with 1 point. And off the jammer line now, we have number 4 for the Witches, that is Strawberry Shortcake, up against Defiantly Eve, who I believe is playing in Chaos's jersey for the South Sea Krakens. Both jammers working up against that tripod. And Strawberry Shortcake is out with lead with a bit of offensive help from her teammates there. It's Defiantly Eve. And Kraken's jammer is successfully through on their initial as Strawberry Shortcake works on the back of the pack, gets some offensive help there from Billy Goat Gruff and calls the jam. Thank you. And up on the jammer line now for jam number 3, we have the Rumour for the Witches up against HIM for Krakens. Beautiful offense there off the line by Natto Ninetails, allowing the Rumour to come through with lead. Kraken's jammer about half a track behind. And again, just beautifully in sync with their offense. Rumour through with 4 points. An attempted sneak up the outside by the Krakens jammer, unfortunately run back, and have now been given a cut track penalty, so it is now a power jam for the Rumour and the Witches. Some beautiful coordinated offense, but a wonderful hit out there by Donna Kebab, running Rumour back. And Rumour decides, I'm not running all the way back there, right as the Krakens jammer is released from the bin. So that is in total 11 points for the Witches, bringing them to 16. Krakens 4 points, bringing them to 12. So Cupcake Fairy now up for the Witches, up against She-Wolf for the Krakens. Both packs sinking back off the line there. And a beautiful hop up the inside there by She-Wolf to grab lead. However, Cupcake Fairy not far behind, chasing down. Bit of a tumble, but everyone's smiling, and that's what we like to see. And 0 points, double donuts. So great defensive work by both teams there. both jammers out side by side. It is Krakens with the lead. However, Evie has gone for the overtake. Hot Tea with lead for the Krakens, looking to their bench, being told to run it. A bit of a split pack at the moment as Natto Ninetails comes in for some offensive help for Evie. And through the pack with all 4 points. But before they can get another scoring pass, jam is called by Hot Tea for the Krakens with 1 point and 4 points for the Witches. As we get ready for the next jam, we have Cupcake Fairy for the Witches up on the line, up against HIM for the Krakens. Oh, lovely coverage of the line there by Pushy Tap from the Witches, allowing Cupcake Fairy to push forward and grab lead for the Witches. And a lovely juke to the outside there by Cups. Calling it off with all 4 points, keeping Kraken scoreless in that jam. She-Wolf back up on the lineup against Evie. We have seen this pairing before. As the jam is on and Witch's defense immediately sinking straight back onto She-Wolf as Evie fights out the front. And a beautiful knockout and run back there. Oh, and a duck underneath the opposition's arms. That's player 4-1-1. Both jammers now run back, re-engaging their respective packs. Lead is still open. Beautiful bridging there by both teams, making sure that pack does not split too far apart as She-Wolf is run back again by the Witches' defense. There is an out-of-play call at the front. Bit of confusion there, but Evie for the Witches has secured lead. And there's 2 penalties given to the 2 Kraken blockers for blocking out of play. So once there is a no pack call, you must return to form pack. Otherwise you're going to get a lovely little penalty and sit in the bin for 30 seconds. And a beautiful star pass there from the Krakens. Our new jammer is now player 4-1-1, Lilliputian. Lovely defensive work there by Natto Ninetails from the Witches, just feeding the Kraken's jammer back into the defensive tripod. Very scrummy pack up here on straightaway 2. So good work out the front trying to keep Lily pushing, but they are through with some points to the Krakens. As is Evie as the jam is called. So as we move into an official timeout, I'd love to go through our rosters now that I have a second. So up for the Krakens today from South Sea Roller Derby, we have 1-1 She-Wolf, 2-1-2 Dilemma, 3-1-3 Princess Leapocalypse, 4-1-1 Lilliputian, 4-8-0 Donna Kebab, 7-9 Raw, 1-5 Cam Can, 264 Scoobs, 325 HIM, 418 Hot Tea, and 69 Corky. And up for the Witches, we have 09 Nine Tails, 10 Never Ending Rory, 2 Evie, 23 Nicholas Rage, 3 Billy Goat Ruff, 33 Tenacious V, 351 Push Up Ra, 37 Winona Fighter, 4 Strawberry Shortskate, 5 The Rumour, 55 Cupcake Fairy, 66 April O'Wheel, 71 Pushy Tat, and 73 Jane Saw. And we do have a wonderful full lineup of officials today. I don't have their names quite in front of me, but big shout out to everyone as NSO and skating officials today. We cannot do this without all their volunteer work and hard-earned efforts. Looks like everything that needed to be sorted out has been sorted, and play is about to be underway once more. Five seconds has been called. We have Strawberry Shortskate up against HIM. Some lovely footwork trying to squeeze in the middle of that Witches pack there by the Krakens jammer. Witches doing a really wonderful run back. And causing the cut track there for the Krakens jammer. So it is lead status and a power jam to Strawberry Shortskate for the Witches. Some wonderful work there out the front by Corky, but Strawberry is through with 4 more points. And some lovely work up the inside there again by Strawberry Shortskate, as HIM is released from the bin and has completed their initial pass. And the jam has been called there by the Witches with 2 more points before the Krakens could re-enter, so keeping them scoreless. So as we move into jam number 9, we have the Krakens sitting on 17 points and the Witches on 42. And as this jam gets underway, we do have lead jammer status acquired by Krakens and Hot Tea. Bit of a tumble taken there by the Rumour, but they have completed their initial and are out for the Witches. Hot Tea re-entering the pack. Looks like there's a... And just in time as well, collecting 2 points for South Sea and keeping the Witches scoreless. And we now have Cupcake Fairy up against She-Wolf. And some beautiful dancey footwork there by She-Wolf, grabbing them lead for South Sea. However, Cupcake Fairy hot on their heels. Both jammers now re-entering the pack, both on scoring passes. And a lovely push out there by Jane Saw on the inside, causing She-Wolf to have to be run all the way back. As Cupcake Fairy gets out from the pack with 4 points, and now it's She-Wolf deciding not to chase down, and I'll just call it there. 4 points apiece. And both jammers just hit the pack and no one moves. That's really wonderful. HIM, however, finds a hole, pops out as lead for the Krakens. Evie, a lap behind, also released from her initial pass. Double donut, 0 points each. We will have a pack advantage here for the Krakens in this next jam, as we do have a Witch's Pivot in the bin. Oh, a big tumble there from Cups, but she is up and back engaging with that pack. As Hot Tea finds a little gap up the inside and sneaks through as lead. Another Witches blocker sent to the bin. It is now a 4-2 pack advantage for the Krakens. Cups being run back there by Corky as Hot Tea is out with 4 points for the Krakens. And again, 4 more points for Hot Tea and the Krakens, as Cups has successfully completed her initial pass for the Witches. Ooh. That was a big, big hit there. But we are giving up. Awesome effort there. That was an awesome big hit. Everyone's up and all right. So at the end of that jam, that was 8 points scored for the Krakens, bringing them to 31, Witches sitting ahead still on 46 points. Just a small official timeout where we confirm some points, but straight back into it. And we have Evie through with lead for the Witches. She-Wolf still battling up against the Witches tripod there. And some lovely work on the outside line by Evie with 4 points. She-Wolf still working up against the back of the pack there. Some lovely defense and run backs there by Natto Ninetails. And unfortunately, it looks like Evie has been sent to the bin, so Witches have lost lead. This will be a 2-minute jam, as She-Wolf escapes from the pack on initial panty in hand. So we do have a power jam now for She-Wolf and the Krakens, if they can make the most of it. This Witches defense is working very, very hard. Evie now, however, released from the bin, re-engaging the pack. Still have 20 seconds left of this of this jam. We'll go for the full 2 minutes. Back block called on one of the Krakens' defensive players, as Corky does some wonderful guarding of the line, forcing Evie to recycle. As the jam times out after 2 minutes, Witches picking up 4 points, Krakens picking up 2. Strawberry short skate up for the Witches, up against HIM for the Krakens as the jam gets underway. Strawberry short skate almost out, captured at the front and recycled by Corky there, allowing HIM to come through and grab lead. Strawberry short skate now through on their initial pass as HIM battles with the Witches tripod at the front of the pack. And calls it there, grabbing 2 more points. But Strawberry short skate also grabbing 2 points to the Witches. With 8 minutes to go left in this first half, we have the Kraken sitting on 35, the Witches on 56. Hot tee up for the Krakens up against the Rumour. And beautiful footwork on the outside line there by the Rumour, securing lead for the Witches. Hot tee still working on that initial pass as the Rumour comes through. Hot tee is released on their initial pass, Witches do come back, providing team offense for Rumour, through with 4 points. Hot tee now re-engaged with the pack, also on a scoring pass for the Krakens. And lovely work up the inside there by the Rumour. Krakens trying to crush the Witches tripod there for their jammer. Very mixed together scrummy pack. Another scoring pass there for the Rumour. Beautiful work up on the outside line. And in the chaos there, Rumour has come through, 4 more points. A couple of tumbles. And we'll just take it. And great to see all skaters returning to their bench all well. A big shout out to Deadly Sports Plus and all our first aid crew. We do appreciate all their hard work and training to make sure that we skate safely. As we come through to the end of this official timeout, it is a reminder that this is a Pride Weekend celebration for both Eastvic, our host today, and Kingston, our hosts tomorrow. There is a bake sale, there are stands and stalls full of merch and goodies you can do, and if you do have some rainbow or pride items you would like to wear, we highly encourage it. You all look fabulous. I'm a big fan of Disaster Chief's colourful tartan skirt? Kilt? Kilt, there's the word, I couldn't find it. The rolling whistle has been called. We are at the end of our official timeout as our teams take back to the track. Both teams have one blocker in the bin, so it is a 3-3 pack for each, as Cupcake Fairy and She-Wolf are up on the jammer line. And beautiful hopping footwork up the inside once again gives She-Wolf the lead for the Krakens. Cupcake Fairy released from her initial pass about half a track behind. Unfortunately, another Krakens blocker has been sent to the bin, so it's just the two of them out there, allowing Cups to sneak up the outside and grab 4 points for the Witches. She-Wolf listening to her bench there, calling off the jam with 3 points before Cupcake Fairy could come through for a second scoring pass. So 3 points to the Krakens, bringing them to 42, and 4 points there for the Witches on 76. HIM up against Evie here, who uses some beautiful toast-up work up the inside for a very, very quick lead status for the Witches. Kraken's Gemma also now released on their initial. However, that was some beautiful offense there by Pushy Tat and Natto Ninetails, allowing Evie to score 4 points on that. And a beautiful big hit on the outside there by Tenacious V, recycling the Kraken's Gemma all the way back. And some lovely defensive work by the Witches up against HIM as Evie was sent to the box. So it has been a power jam for the Krakens. However, Evie is released back on track. So having lost lead, this will be a 2-minute jam. We have 38 seconds left to go. Both jammers wrestling with very strong defensive tripods. And a lovely shove to the middle there, allowing Evie to come through 4 points. Kraken's Jammer also with 4 points, about half track behind. Both jammers trying to get some points before the jam times out. Krakens held scoreless on that particular scoring pass, which is with 3 additional points, bringing that jam to an 11-point total, which is now on 87. Krakens did grab 4 points, bringing them to 46. Does look like we have an official review called. I will hop in the middle and see what's going on. So I am back with all the goss. So Krakens have called an official review. They are seeking a cut track or illegal re-entry penalty to be called on the Witches jammer number 2, Evie. They would like the jammer to re-enter the bin and sit for another 30 seconds. So we'll wait to see if Evie goes to the bin and what the officials decide really happened. So as we're having our official review, I'd like to do a special shout out to East Vic as our host today, now that they are on track. And they'd also like to give a special shout out to their sponsor, APS Double Glazing. APS Double Glazing are a family-run company servicing Melbourne, and they specialise in UPVC double glazing, replacing your old windows and doors with high-quality, energy-efficient, maintenance-free products that are manufactured right here in Melbourne. And also a big shout out to Streaming Sports Connection for all their hard work making sure that our live stream goes so smoothly and so wonderfully today, and setting me up with a lovely microphone here. I do love the sound of my own voice. So we do have a Witches jammer on track, so that means the Krakens have lost their official review as we get back underway. She-Wolf up for the Krakens as Cups is up for Witches. Some lovely line coverage and a run back there by Never Ending Rory for the Witches, as Cups still works on a very strong defensive Krakens tripod at the front. Woo! Bit of confusion there. Both jammers have had a penalty called. Cupcake Fairy did try and go the scenic route there. So it'll be a very short penalty for both, as Derby cannot continue without a jammer on track. So each jammer only serves a few seconds before hopping straight back on. And if this feels familiar, it is so. Witches and Krakens both with great defense holding their respective jammers. Cups fighting up the front. And Witches reforming at the back after recycling She-Wolf. Lead will not be called, as both jammers have had a penalty called. So this will be a 2-minute jam. But She-Wolf has escaped the pack first. And Cups also escapes on their initial pass. And a hop, skip and a run up the inside apex. 4 points for Cupcake Fairy and the Witches there. And She-Wolf grabbing 2 points there for the Krakens. The Rumour up for the Witches now, up against Hot Tea, back on track for the Krakens. And Rumour has come through with lead after some wonderful offensive help there by Never Ending Rory. Hot Tea sneaks up the outside, through for their initial for the Krakens as Rumour comes through on a scoring pass. Using some wonderful speed to get through there. Both jammers on scoring passes. As Rumour comes through, hits the tripod, sneaks up the outside, 4 more points. Kraken's defense trying to break it up and open some gaps for Hot Tea, but Witches are reforming very well, staying together, finding their friends. Rumour slides through, 4 more points for the Witches. This is turning into quite a big jam for them. A lovely, lovely recycle to the outside there by Tenacious V. Running Hot Tea from the very front of the pack all the way to the back. Rumour finding holes where holes are to be found, sliding through as Witches' defence is doing an excellent, excellent job here. Unfortunately, Tenacious V is sent to the bin with a rare blocker cut track. Another great recycle there by Billy Goat Graf. As Rumour pushes on that Kraken's tripod at the back there. And that was a massive, massive jam for the Rumour and the Witches. 27-point jam, bringing them to 118 points. Krakens did manage to grab all 4 points on their scoring pass, bringing them to a total of 52. And that was the last jam of the first half. We are now entering our intermission, so we will have a 15-minute break before we come back for the second half. And I will see you then.
she comes, the rise, the mountain highs again. Again and again, this girl is ready to get back on the set. It's easy to tell that she's a pro. This girl is getting out of control. The boys don't all hear her peaks and jumps as she wiggles with her head. She shines, reaching up to the stars. So easy to tell that she's a pro. This girl is getting out of control. Say my name, groovy 한 걸음걸이 거울 앞에 서봐 누가 제일 핫해. Look at me now so savage. 빛이 나 언제나 뒤끝부터 올라. All day 깊이 빠져들지. 내 같으면 분위기가 up. 너도 나를 원해 감추지 마 절대. 한 입에 오문 캔디처럼 좀 좁혀. Let's make it loud. 오늘 밤에 미치더라가. Rhythm 위에 춤춰 걷지 말고 follow. Let me hear you say. 이건 warning sign. 거침없이 더 올라가. 내 머릿속에 deep inside now. Hey, say my name. 입을 잠겨 just like bubblegum. 더 크게 올라가. Say my name, say my name. Bass drop 더 높이 let it shake. 너도 모르게 빠져가. Say my name. No turning back too late now. 어떤 몰래 빠져들어 hush. 이제 멈추지마 we don't stop. No fear, no shame. Say my name. 잊지 못한 내 face. 세상에 날 원해 crown on my head. 날 보면 모두 다 wow wow wow. Flash camera 다 click click pow. 내 vibe 마치 gold. 춤추듯 걸어 신 빠르는 새빛.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of the East Vic Witches taking on the South Sea Krakens. As we left half-time, we do have the Krakens sitting on 52 points, the Witches on 118. And before we get underway with our game, we do want to do another reminder that this is Pride Weekend. Both are our hosts today, the Witches, and our host tomorrow, KCR. We are proud to stand in solidarity with the LGBTIQ+ community, celebrate their resilience and strength. At this Pride event, we honour the pioneers who have paved the way for equality and commit to continuing the fight for a more inclusive and just world. Please celebrate by enjoying the rainbow face paints, stickers, Pride photo space, Donna pronoun sticker you can find at the front table. Write something on the Pride message board and enjoy the many fabulous stalls here today. And there is also a bake sale which I will be attending to very shortly. As we count down our final 30 seconds before we get back underway with the second half, we do have him jamming for the South Sea Krakens up against Evie for the Witches. And we do have a pack advantage. There is 4 players up there for the Krakens up against 3 for the Witches. Play to begin in just a moment. Just waiting for KO. And we are back underway for the second half. Both jammers working up against some defense. A couple of tumbles there by the East Vic blockers. And him has grabbed lead for the Krakens. Evie also out on her initial pass. Him through with 4 points. Listen to the bench, called it off. A great 4-0 jam there to kick off the second half for the Krakens. Speaking of the Krakens, they do have 2 debutants today, first game of a full contact roller derby. So big shout out to Raw and Cam Can. Well done on playing your very first game today. And She-Wolf and Strawberry Short Skate up on the jammer line here. Jam is underway and some wonderful toe stop work up the inside line for Strawberry Short Skate, grabbing lead for the Witches. She-Wolf trying to get some offensive help from the Krakens, but is being recycled there by never-ending Rory. Lovely offense there, allowing Strawberry Short Skate to come through with 4 more points. She-Wolf still battling at the back of the pack, has stashed the star and passed it. So we now have a new jammer for the Krakens, that is Lily Pushin. Strawberry Short Skate right beside there, doing the overtake. Sneaks through the middle and grabs all 4 points. Krakens, however, did steal 1. So there's a 12-point jam there for Strawberry Short Skate and the Witches. And no, you weren't hallucinating if you were on the live stream today. We do have Hawkeye's live cam. And for everyone in the building, if you are part of our Derby community and have not signed up for Hawkeye's Faces of Roller Derby project, I highly encourage it. Jam is on. We have the Rumour up for Witches up against Hot Tea for the Krakens, who is working against a solid tripod of Witches at the back. Rumour through with lead. Krakens reform at the front. Hot Tea pushing, trying to get out on their initial pass. Caught out the front there for a moment by Corky, but Rumour is through with 4 points. Hot Tea recycled to the back there. Stashed the star and working against very, very strong Witches defense. And a lovely star pass there. Corky is our new jammer here for the Krakens. However, the Rumour wants none of that. Grabs 3 more points for the Witches and calls it off. Cupcake Fairy taking the jam start here for the Witches, up against him for Krakens. A very tight, scrummy pack here. Couple of penalties being thrown out here. Both blocking tripods reduced by 1 as him battles up the front. Sneaks up the inside, grabs lead jammer status. Cups knocked to the inside, still working on the initial pass. And good effort there by Pushy Tap from the Witches, trying to hold back, but him is through with 4 points for the Krakens. More penalties awarded. There is just 2 defensive players for the Krakens and 3 for Witches on the track at the moment. And unfortunately, him is being sent to the bin with a back block. This will be a 2-minute jam here and a power jam opportunity for Cupcake Fairy and the Witches. Lily pushing there, doing some excellent defensive work, forcing Cupcake Fairy to recycle to the very back of the pack. And a bit of a fancy slide there, but through with 4 points for the Witches, as Him is released from the penalty bin. Cops a big knock there from the Witches. I believe that's Never-Ending Rory. As Cups slips up the outside, 4 more points for the Witches. Eight-point jam there for the Witches and 7 points collected for the Krakens. Krakens now sitting at 64 points total, Witches on 145. As She-Wolf and Evie hop on the jammer start line. And a beautiful lead there grabbed by She-Wolf and the Krakens, just hopping up the outside. Evie also threw an initial, a full lap behind, as She-Wolf re-enters the Witches' defense. Beautifully done there by She-Wolf. Sneaks in, grabs 2 points for the Krakens, and listens to the bench and calls it off before the Witches can score any points. Strawberry Short Skate and Him up on the jammer line. It's a very tight pack on the straightaway here. Both jammers trying to push through, find some gaps. And a very close there, Strawberry Short Skate with lead for the Witches. Him not far behind, doing the chase down for the Krakens. Both jammers re-entering the pack now on scoring passes. A lovely hit there from Billy Goat Ruff there, drawing him to the back of the pack. A lovely push there from Strawberry Short Skate to sneak through with 4 points. And beautiful work there by him, just pinpoint perfect footwork, grabbing 4 points for the Krakens. Looks like both teams are content to run this. And beautiful work there by Strawberry Short Skate. A little zip to the in, zip to the out, through with 4 points. Both teams picking up some good points here. Strawberry Short Skate re-enters the pack and pushes through. Is caught up the front by Lily Pushin and Hot Tea. Decides, that's enough. I've got all 4 points. I'm going to call it off. So a really great jam there for the Witches. That is a 20-point total jam for Strawberry Short Skate. Krakens did, however, pick up 10 points, bringing them up to 76 now. She-Wolf and the Rumour re-entering the pack. Lovely line work there by Tenacious V. Rumour slips through, grabs lead for the Witches. As Witches try and reform around She-Wolf. However, some trademark toe-stop runs up the outside for She-Wolf means they are through on their initial pass. And she's so fast and smooth I didn't even see it. Rumour slips through, grabs 4 points and calls it off. keeping the Krakens to none on that jam. Hot Tea back up on the jammer line with Cupcake Fairy as 5 seconds is called. A last-minute addition to the Krakens' defense there. They barely got on the track in time as both jammers work against their respective tripods. Some really great defense from both sides today. Just beautiful set defense. This is hard work as a jammer to keep pushing on defense that's not really going anywhere. I believe that's Chainsaw from Witches going back into the Kraken's tripod trying to break it up. Fortunately, Cups was knocked to the inside as Hot Tea battles with Never Ending Rory out the very front here. Takes a couple of big hits from Never Ending Rory, but has successfully grabbed lead for the Krakens. Cup still working on that very strong Krakens defense at the back there. Billy Goat Rough there, recycling Hot Tea all the way to the back. Couple of big hits there, both jammers just taking an extra second. Five-second call, both teams trying to get ready in time. She-Wolf and Evie up as jammers. Oh, beautiful bouncy work there by She-Wolf. Grabs lead for the Krakens. Evie still working on the initial pass. Bit of a tumble, but everyone is up as She-Wolf comes in on a scoring pass. The star pass has been taken by Nine Tails of the Witches. Pushes Corky from the Krakens all the way out the front. There's an excellent work there by She-Wolf. Grabbed 4 points there for the Krakens and called it off listening to her bench. Him and Cupcake Fairy up and out as jammers. And a lovely slip to the inside there, grabbing lead status for Cupcake Fairy and the Witches. Him also through on initial, having slipped up the apex there. Oh. Beautiful offensive work there by Never Ending Rory, allowing Cupcake Fairy to slip through with 4 points. A big hit there for him by Never Ending Rory, but as with Derby, a check-in to make sure everyone's okay before we continue going. Bit of a leap to the inside there by Cups, calling it from the floor. But she did manage to grab 7 points there for the Witches, Krakens with 3. Evie and Hot Tea back up as jammers. And again, just quality blocking here from both teams, just locked in on both jammers as they really push forward, trying to find some room. Evie looks to the out, trying to break things up. Both jammers out fairly quickly and close together. Hot Tea did grab lead jammer status for the Krakens, decided not to play the chasing game and called it off. And there has been a team timeout called there by the Krakens. Just a minute to catch their breath. And just while we have a minute's break, we'll have a look at the penalties. So Cam and Dilemma in a little bit of trouble here for the Krakens. They're on 5 penalties each. No one else in any real danger here for the Krakens, but it is something to keep an eye on. As for the Witches, we do have Nat Ninetails and Never-Ending Rory, both with 4 penalties each. There are more penalties spread across the entire Witches lineup, but no one in any real danger so far. And just while I have a moment, we want to do a big thank you to all of our volunteers and from the support of Kingston City Rollers to help pull together this double round we're all enjoying. There was a recent venue change, so we do appreciate everyone's flexibility and making sure we can come together, celebrate roller derby and celebrate Pride. And that is the rolling whistle indicating the end of the timeout for the Krakens. She-Wolf now jamming for the Krakens up against Strawberry Short Skate for the Witches as we get back underway. She-Wolf trying to do a hop skip up the inside line, and the outside line is blocked by Never-Ending Rory. However, Rory does pick up a penalty for their efforts. Strawberry Short Skate, though, has managed to escape the chaos with lead for the Witches. She-Wolf doing great work there for the Krakens, pushing out Witches' defense, causing a no-pack situation. They are no longer able to block, and She-Wolf escapes on their initial pass. Both jammers now re-entering the pack, both on scoring passes, as both defenses try and lock down their respective jammers. She-Wolf working on a set tripod right before the second apex. At the back, Strawberry Short Skate really pushing hard on this Krakens defense out the front here. And great work there by Strawberry Short Skate. Has managed to push through 4 more points. As April O'Wheel and as Billy Goat Ruff recycle She-Wolf to the back of the pack. Now some nice one-on-one blocking there from April O'Wheel. Strawberry Short Skate able to slip up the outside. 4 more points. She-Wolf working hard with April O'Wheel again. And unfortunately has grabbed a forearms penalty. So this is a power jam here for the Witches, right as the jam times out. So another mammoth jam there by Strawberry Short Skate and the Witches. That's a 20-point jam, bringing their total now to 196. Krakens did manage to grab 4 points there and bringing their total now to 89. Oh, beautifully done. Power start here for the Rumor, who just dances up the outside, grabs lead. Beautiful, beautiful. which is they're all working together, coordinated offense, opening up the inside for Rumour to take. It's really lovely, lovely teamwork. Krakens jammer released from the bin as Rumour comes through on another scoring pass. There has been a star pass, so Corky is your new jammer for the Krakens. Rumour sliding through 4 more points, looks to her bench as Corky comes in for a scoring pass for the Krakens. Rumour through on the outside as Corky manages to slip past Witch's defence on the in. Both jammers now picking up points. There are 2 Witches defensive players in the bin as April O'Wheel is released back on track. Lovely beam dip though by Corky, grabbing 4 more points for the Krakens. Oh, lovely work there by April O'Wheel, covering the outside line, forcing the recycle for Corky. Both jammers now going almost lap for lap. So it is a massive jam for the Witches as we reach the end of our 2 minutes. Just confirming points here, but it looks like the Rumour for the Witches managed to do a massive 24-point jam, bringing their total now to 220. Krakens confirmed 12 points for Krakens, and they have passed triple digits now. Krakens now on 101. We do just have an official timeout for a moment while everyone gets themselves organised. But we will have Evie jamming for the Witches and him jamming for the Krakens. I said that a second too soon. Unfortunately, there is going to be a jammer penalty called for the Witches. Rumour being told to go sit in the bin. So this will be a full 30-second power start for him and the Krakens. Jam is on. Him dancing up the back of the Witches' defence, trying to find some holes, and manages to slip up the inside apex, lead jammer status for the Krakens. Comes in hot, but does meet the back end of that Ninetails. Pushing forwards as the Rumour is released from the bin and has slipped past the defence for her initial pass. Him grabbing all 4 points there for the Krakens and calling it off, keeping the Witches scoreless in that jam. We do have 8 minutes left in our game here today as we have Cupcake Fairy up jamming for the Witches, Hot Tea jamming for the Krakens. Again, some wonderful defense displayed here by both defensive tripods, really locking in on their respective jammers. Pack is split, so there is a tripod working at the back with cups, And Hot Tea pushing up the front here with the Witches. Hot Tea pushing out just enough, causing a no pack and grabbing the lead for the Krakens. And just when you think you're out, you find a Corky on the outside. Poor Cups pushed all the way to the outside and recycled all the way back to the beginning. Hot Tea on a scoring pass, also recycled there by Billy Goat Ruff. And once again, Cups out the front finding Corky. We are taking a moment, but everyone is up and all right. But it is hard work out there. Cup still working on the initial for the Witches as Hot Tea pushes out Witches defense, grabs 4 more points there for the Krakens. Cups has stashed the star looking for the pivot or looking for a gap. Lovely little hop on the apex there, through on their initial. Hot Tea in, grabs some more points and calls it from the floor. Unfortunately not grabbing any points for that scoring pass. So a 4-0 jam there for the Krakens. Evie and She-Wolf up now jamming as we enter our final 5 minutes of gameplay. Everyone's all a bit mixed together, but looks like Evie has managed to slip up the outside there and grabbed lead. She-Wolf pushing out the front. She-Wolf doing great pushing work there, pushing the Witches out of play, completing their initial pass as Evie is in the middle of the pack scoring points. Krakens doing a great job at being split apart by the Witches but reforming quickly. Both defensive tripods locking all the way in now. These jammers aren't going anywhere quickly, unfortunately. This is great work by them. Oh, lovely, lovely hit out there by Natto Ninetails for the Witches. Just grabbing She-Wolf on the inside line there. Unfortunately, Evie has been issued a penalty, so it is now a power jam for She-Wolf and the Krakens. Getting the call from the bench to put the hat on. As with roller derby, jammers cannot score points unless the star is on their helmet and visible. Whoop, bit of a tumble. As She-Wolf is recycled there by Natto Ninetails. And again. Which is doing a really good job here at killing Evie's penalty time as she retakes to the track. Four points awarded on that last scoring pass each. Three minutes left of our game here. We do have the Krakens now sitting on 113 points. The East Vic Witches now sitting at 224 with Cupcake Fairy jamming up against Hot Tea. Cups working up the front there. Krakens defense not making life easy for her as Hot Tea works on some great Witches defense at the back. Cups has popped through, grabbed lead. as the Krakens come back to help out their jammer. And do so successfully. Hot Tea out on initial. Cups slipping up the inside again. 4 points there for the Witches. A few tumbles, but everyone's getting back up. As Hot Tea is recycled to the back of the pack there by April O'Wheel. Cups with another 4 points for the Witches. As Hot Tea is working against a lovely one-on-one blocking there from April O'Wheel and the Witches. Cupcake Fairy cutting some laps here, grabbing some more points. Bit of a tumble on the outside, but both players checking in with each other, making sure they're okay, which we love to see. April O'Wheel doing a wonderful job with some one-on-one blocking there and just feeding the Krakens jammer back into their respective tripod. Great defense again. It's really on display here. Both these teams are doing really good jobs of just locking down. Cup slips through. Kraken sending some offense, but the jam has timed out. Krakens grabbing 3 points, bringing their total to 116, which is with a 16-point jam there with Cupcake Fairy, bringing their total to 240 as we enter what might just be our last jam. Evie and him up as respective jammers for their teams, both fighting in the middle of a very scrummy pack. Evie caught by great defense at the back and him fighting for lead up the front, pushing out the Witches all the way. And beautifully done there by him and the Krakens. Lead jammer status. And a star pass, our new jammer for the Witches is Nat O'Ninetails, as him is through for a scoring pass. Takes a little knee slide, calls from the floor. Keeps the Witches scoreless on that last jam, but we're just confirming how many points we have for the Krakens. And that is a 3-point final jam there for the Krakens. We will wait for our rolling whistle, but we have timed out today's game. So before we announce our official score, big thank you to all our skating and non-skating officials, and well done to both teams. And that is our rolling whistle. Your final score today, Krakens on 119 points, the Eastwick Witches on 240 points. There are still 2 more wonderful derby games to come. Hop to the side of the track to give our players some high fives, and we'll see you for the next game.